Hi guys, it's Aoife from Words of Clover and I'm here today to talk about some upcoming Irish releases this year that I'm really excited about, and I want to tell you guys about them as well and we can all anticipate them together. So the first book I wanted to talk about is Bespora by Deirdre Finnerty. This book is being published in April and it is a non-fiction book, and this one is an account of the Bessborough mother and baby home, which is one of the mother and baby homes that ran in Ireland. I think this is accounts of women who may have been in these homes, as well as children who were born in them, possibly people who worked in them as well. I think there's a certain amount of accounts within this and we are just hearing some amazing stories coming out of this home. And this one definitely intrigues me, just as I find this topic in general just a really interesting one and infuriating one to read about. I also really enjoyed Republic of Shame by Keelan Hogan last year, which also looks at accounts from mother and baby homes. That one is in general like mother and baby homes throughout Ireland. This one is centred on one particular mother and baby home, but yeah, I'm really excited to read this when it's out, as I think it's going to be really good. Coming out in April is 7 Steeples by Sara Baume. This has been published by Tramp Press, which is an independent Irish publisher that I really like as well. And this one, just like the kind of the blurb of this one just sounds exactly like something I would want to read, but also something I would like to do, and that is a stunning, powerful new novel about a couple that pushes against traditional expectations, moving with their dogs to the Irish countryside where they embed themselves in nature and make attempts to disappear from society. And like, honestly, that is all I need to know about this book. That this sounds like something I would like to do in real life, just move to the country with my dogs and disappear and not have to deal with people, because a majority of people suck, let's be honest, and animals are much better and nature is so much nicer. So yeah, that's definitely something I would like to do, but also something I would really love to read about. So yeah, I'm excited about this one, and this is one that I would love to pick up when it's out. Third book in April coming out in April that I want to talk about is All Along the Echo by Denton. I have read another book by Denton, and that was The Early King and the Kid in Yellow, which was a really interesting kind of dystopian type novel set in Dublin, that was really unusual, really enjoyable, really unusual. And yeah, Denton is definitely an author I would like to read more from. So he has a new book coming out in April, and this one is about a radio talk show host who with his producer takes a road trip across Ireland, and it's kind of part of a publicity stunt organised by a car dealership to win a car. But there is a catch to this publicity stunt where the car must be given to one of the many emigrants who've recently returned home to escape a wave of escalating terror attacks in London. But as they navigate dual carriageways and holiday inns, giving airtime and narrative to the great many of voices calling into the show, the car competition transforms into a quest to the very heart of who and what we are. And yeah, this sounds just really interesting, and I was cheeky and I did actually ask the publishers if it was possible that I could get a review copy of this, because I would love to read it soon, and they said yes. So I think that has been sent to me at the moment, and yeah, I will let you guys know what I think about this when I read it. Another book that I'm very excited for is Idle by Louise O'Neill. If anyone has been on my channel for a while, you guys know Louise O'Neill is one of my favourite writers, and I just think she is able to write like things around feminism and culture, patriarchy, just really well, and she's able to create these really amazing stories with kind of tackling so many issues. Her new book Idle, I think, is looking at things around kind of like the Me Too movement, and then also just cancel culture in general. We are following I think she's an influencer or some type of celebrity type of character. She is in her 40s, she writes something or she says something about her first sexual experience with a college friend, but then afterwards, after she publishes this piece, the college friend comes out and she remembers this experience a lot differently to our main character. So I think we're just following this journey, and yeah, I'm really interested to read this, particularly because I literally have just read a book called The Echo Chamber by John Boyne, and which also tackles cancel culture, and I think it was done really poorly in that book. So I'm actually really excited to have another book to almost compare this discussion and the play on cancel culture and see how they kind of they measure up against each other. So yeah, I'm just very excited about this book, and I think it is going to be really good. And then another non-fiction book that is coming out in May is Yeah, But Where Are You Really From by Marguerite Penrose. And this is the story of a Zambian Irish woman, Marguerite, who was born in a mother and baby home in Ireland in 1974. She had scoliosis as a child, so went through a lot of medical procedures, and then she was fostered and then adopted, I think, at the age of 3. And I think this story just kind of focuses on, like, you know, her childhood, how she was brought up, and then also obviously being a child of mixed race in Ireland, which at the time would have been very white, and she, I presume, may have experienced things like racism and prejudice because of her skin colour. And quite possibly because of where she was born to. So it says here, Marguerite's story is one of facing some big questions. Who am I? How do I live in a world made for people with bodies different to mine? Why does anyone care about my skin colour? With intelligence, humour, courage and common sense. She writes about coming to terms with the circumstances of her birth and, like so many in her position, looking for answers. About navigating the world as an active woman with a disability, about what it means to be both Irish and black, particularly at a moment when the conversation is becoming mainstream in Ireland and she's thinking about it in new ways herself. Mostly she writes about embracing life in a spirit of openness and positivity. So yeah, this sounds really, really good to me, and I'm very excited to be reading this, and I think it's going to be a really important book to read as well. So the next book I want to talk about is actually one I do have in physical format. This one is coming out in June, and it is Factory Girls by Michelle Gallen. I have read Michelle Gallen's other book, Big Girl Small Town, and similar to Big Girl Small Town, this one is set in Northern Ireland. This one I think is set during the Troubles in Northern Ireland, and we are following a girl called Maeve Murray, who is basically like sick of her small Northern Irish town. She wants to get out. She's hoping that her exam results will mean that she'll be able to go to London, I think, for college, and she is just kind of trying to enjoy maybe her last summer with her friends and get the most out of everything. But then during this as well, there's obviously a lot of tensions between the Catholics and Protestants in Northern Ireland, and then there is marching season, so the orange marches and things that happen. When this happens, there tends to be a lot of tension, so it's exploring this, and that normally happens in July, I think. So yeah, that explores like this time like in the year, and particularly at a time in history when things were very tense when these things happened. So yeah, really looking forward to this. I really enjoyed Michelle Gallen's other book. I have a feeling I might like this one even more, and I'm really excited to read it. The next book I'm so intrigued to read, and this is because I actually feel like I have a personal connection to this book. So the next book is The Amusements by Aingeala Flanney. This one is also coming out in June. The author, Aingeala Flanney, was one of my college lecturers when I was in college studying journalism, and then she was actually my thesis supervisor when I did my thesis for college. So yeah, so when I saw that she had a book coming out, I pre-ordered it straight away, so I will have this one coming to me in June. And yeah, I'm just so excited that like someone I'm connected to in some way has written a book. I think it's so cool. So I'm really excited to read this, and this one has started too, and is getting a good bit of buzz in Ireland within Irish publishing and like book people that I follow on Twitter and stuff. And yeah, I'm really happy to see that, because Aingeala is a lovely person, and yeah, I'm really happy to see her succeed. So this one is set in Tramore, County Waterford during the summer, and it is tourist season, and we are following local teenager Helen Grant, who is indifferent to the charm of her surroundings. She's infatuated with her glamorous classmate Stella. She yearns to escape with her to art college, and from there the world. But leaving Tramore is easier said than done. With an alcoholic father and unsympathetic mother, Helen's family life may shatter her dream when it seems to be within reach. So this is an unforgettable story about roads taken and not taken, and it is a brilliantly observed portrait of life in a small town. So this one feels to me like everything that I've heard about it feels to me like it's going to be the perfect summer read. It's going to be like remind you of, you know, being at the beach, being like just summer, like with your friends when you were a teenager, like ice cream, chips, like dodging seagulls with your chips and things like that. I don't know. That is the feeling I'm getting with this book, while also obviously exploring these teenage like experiences and the angst and the fear of being a teenager, where with this character in particular, like she has even more to worry about because her family life isn't particularly good and she just really wants to escape, so she is just feeling a whole lot. But I'm very excited to read this one. I think it is going to be really good. I'm pretty much excited to read all of these books. I've said I'm excited about all of them because I am. Those are the books that I'm really excited to read this year, all coming out by Irish authors, and yes, they all sound so good. I'm so excited to read all of these, and yeah, I think it's going to be a great year of reading ahead with all of these books, and a great year of expectation. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know if any of these books like sound good to you. Are you going to be putting any on your TBR? I would love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.